Hello, and welcome to my new series on yoga incorporating astrology. I'll be looking at a particular transit, a collective transit in astrology, meaning a transit that is for everybody, for the collective current energies, and how to actually understand that a bit better, how to embody that through your yoga practice. And also maybe finding a way of how to balance that energy or how to work with that energy in a more conducive way. And the current transit that I want to look at today is Mars in Aries. Mars has been in Aries for just over a month, coming up to a month and a half. So it started in August, and it will be in Aries until January 2021. So what is the Martian energy? That is connected, as you may be able to envision, to our willpower, our assertion, our drive, how we go into the world. So it is connected to our willpower, our defense mechanism, and as such also to our immune system. Very important function. Yeah, how do we defend our boundaries in a healthy way would be like a, let's say, higher expression of Mars, or also how do we set boundaries or for mutually beneficial goals. And Aries is that pioneering energy, the energy of initiation of spring. It starts off spring in the northern hemisphere, in the autumn in the southern hemisphere. It's about the survival of the self, and also instant short-term gratification. Aries can be very much about impatience and acting before thinking. So now that this planet, or Mars, has gone retrograde in Aries, and it started on September the 9th, and it will be in its retrograde period until November 13th. So what does that mean? So when a planet is retrograde, it is opposite the sun, and that means its original intentions. That's how Rick Levine, one of my favorite astrology teachers, puts it. Its original intentions are in doubt. And also the volume of the energies is turned up, and at the same time the actual energies are weakened. So there might be at the moment this feeling that we want to go ahead with things, but we can't, and our energy might kind of feel low, and or we're stopped. So while the energies are weakened, at the same time they are much more, you can feel them a lot more, you can sense them. So the transit I want to look at is this Mars retrograde in Aries, in square to the Capricorn planets, which have been called also the Capricorn Council. It's a cluster of planets, or like the three planets, Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter. They come together, travel together, and meet at different times throughout this year in the sign of Capricorn, which is about structure, authority, outer authority, also the law, things like that. Patriarchy is one of the things. So a square is always about a tension that requires creative resolution. So how does that impact you personally? If you are familiar with your astrological chart, your birth chart, you can look up how you where actually which are the houses ruled by Aries and Capricorn in your chart, and also where do you have Mars, and also where do you have Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, and that will give you a better picture of how that specifically works for you. However, on a collective level, we can all see how do we structure our lives in these houses that are ruled by Aries and Capricorn, and what might we need to review and restructure, have a look at, let go possibly in terms of Pluto, what needs to be removed from our lives in order to transform, where can we expand in the sense of Jupiter, where can we invite more in or try something new. So in its very kind of let's say lower expression, the Mars in Aries is very much a kind of warrior fighter energy. This is now stopped very often by Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, by the structures exposed from the outside. And how do we work with that energy? It's possibly a good idea to hold back on this instant gratification and rather go for your long-term true desire. And also, how can that true desire, how can that be aligned rather than just with myself, with the collective? How can that serve more people than just myself? So it's like a creative path from the I expression in order to assist or benefit the we, the collective. So it's a good idea to try something new. Like myself, I'm trying this new format, and also maybe be courageous enough to change direction within the coming weeks in matters of how you structure your life. And also it's important to choose your battles wisely, to watch your immune system during this period, and to be aware that this is a long transit until January 2021. And what is it that you want to accomplish? Where do you really want that energy to go? So if you keep all that in mind during this yoga practice, and yeah, we start off by just connecting with the earth. And the easiest way to do that is just to feel physically the body parts that touch the earth. Feel the connection from your sitting bones, from the tailbone. Relax your perineum. Feel your breath at the perineum without changing the breath, just feeling it. And then slowly walk up the spine. Find length between the vertebrae. Bring your chin towards your chest very slightly, like a slight yes. So you find a long neck, and then feel yourself pulled up ever so gently from the crown of the head. It's just like a 5% lift from the crown, and the rest of your weight and energy goes down. So you really keep that sense of grounding, very important during this period. And just feel your breath more deeply. In and exhaling through the nose. Sending your inhale from the belly via the rib cage all the way up to the crown of the head. Taking a new energy. And the exhale all the way down into your pelvis. At the end of the exhale, pull the belly and the pelvic floor gently in and up. Yeah, release that. Bring the breath up on your inhale. And back down on your exhale. So a few more deep in and exhales. And feel every inhale as a new beginning, the opportunity to start afresh. And every exhale to let go of whatever tension might be in your body, mind, emotional, spiritual part of yourself. One more deep in and exhale. And then place one hand on your belly, underneath your belly button, one hand onto your heart, and just sense your breath for a few more moments. And then really feel your core, feel the connection to your core, from your center to your heart. And set an intention to direct your energy at your true desire. And then bring that into the body with your breath. And then rub your hands together. Cup your eyes with your palms and take some deep in and exhales, really removing any tension from the head, which is connected to Aries. Any tension from the head, from the eyes, let it evaporate, dissolve into your hands. And bring the hands down, and we start with a pranayama, a breathing practice called Kapalabhati, which means what makes the skull shine. And we in and exhale through the nose. It's an passive inhale, it's an active exhale, and you're pumping the breath from the belly all the way up to the crown of the head. I'll count you in and out. We do 3 rounds of 20 strokes. If you feel sick, if you're pregnant, if you have eaten a lot recently, just return to normal breath, or don't even attempt to do this. Just normal breathing will do, connecting to the breath in a way that you sense and feel the breath. So we take a deep inhale, close your eyes. Deep exhale. Then a normal inhale, and you start on your exhale. 20 strokes of Kapalabhati. Full exhale. Take a deep inhale. Bring your chin towards your chest. Hold the breath for a moment. Feel the connection to your center, to your core. And on your exhale, release. And bring the head back up into its original position. Again, take a deep inhale. Long and deep exhale. Normal inhale, and start again. 20 rounds of Kapalabhati. Full exhale. Take a deep inhale. Long and deep exhale. And at the end of the exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Hold the breath for a moment. And on your inhale, release. And we do one last round. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Lean into the back of your heart a little bit so that you can breathe in the diaphragm. Normal inhale. And again, 20 rounds. Full exhale. Deep inhale. Long and deep exhale. Deep inhale again. At the end of the inhale, bring your chin towards your chest. Hold the breath for a moment. And exhale and release. Great. So now bring your feet together for Baddha Konasana. Lift your chest. Spread your legs out. Come into straddle. Bring the knees into the chest and straighten them out. In front of you, staff pose Dandasana. Then lift your feet for Navasana, the boat. You can either keep your arms here, you can keep them here, you can keep them here. You can also straighten the legs. Half Navasana. Then again, full Navasana. And come into Baddha Konasana. And again, open wide into straddle pose. Just make it do to the extent that you're comfortable. And then Dandasana. And again, coming into boat posture. Half boat. And you can already feel the connection to the third chakra, your core, which is, of course, connected to willpower, your drive. Yeah? The energy, how we go out into the world. And again, inhale, lifting. And bringing the legs out. And straightening them out. And coming into your boat. Half boat. Full boat. And relax. And just coming front on all fours. One cat and cow. We do 3 of those. Again, connecting to our core. And on the exhale, rounding the spine. And finding that fluidity. And the other thing I'd like to introduce is your drishti. So that's your focus point. So keep your eyes at a particular point, for example, the tip of your nose or just between your hands, which we will do now as we come into plank position. And then we press back into downward facing dog. So now keep your gaze between your legs. Steady gaze. But it is an open focus. So you will also see the rest of the room or wherever you are. If it's outside, outdoors, as I'm here in the park, I also notice the rest of the park, even though I keep my eyes at a particular point. So you're stretching out the back of the legs and you come into plank and we pull the knee into the chest. We hold here for a moment, feeling again a connection to the core and placing the foot between our hands. And then we walk the front foot out a little bit, and for warrior 1, place the back foot diagonally pointing front. And both feet are at a hip width distance, coming up, and again, keeping your gaze steady. And your breath deep. Take a couple of deep breaths. Relax your shoulders, and again, steady gaze. Keep your heart open. Again, thinking of where you really want to direct the energy. Bring the hands down and step back into plank position. And this time we go all the way down, knees, chest, chin. Come into a small cobra, grounding the feet, lifting more from the heart, and really feel your back muscles engage. So that is the back of your core, also very important. Breathing deeply here. And then you lower the forehead and you come back into plank. And from here to downward facing dog. Again, choosing a clear drishti for your eyes, sensing your breath. Inhale, coming into plank. And bring your left knee into your chest. Hold it here for a moment. Steady breath, steady gaze. And then plant that foot between your hands. And then the back foot flat onto the ground at a 45-degree angle, pointing front. Left foot moves out a little bit, feet hip-width distance. Bring your arms up. See if you can turn the hips facing forwards. Breathing deeply, keeping your eyes at the distance, sensing the breath. Inhale here. And again, exhale, coming into plank position. And you can go into chaturanga if you wish. But really, as I said, really watch the energy. What does your body need right now? Inhale small or maybe also a higher cobra, opening the chest and coming back into downward facing dog. So of course we're gonna do another warrior, the warrior 2. So place the left foot flat onto the mat, nearly 90-degree angle, toes facing in a little bit, right foot between your hands. So the left arm wheels back as we come up, right arm goes front. And as if we're an archer, so we bring the left arm to the front arm and we open the entire side and we keep our eyes at our middle finger, front middle finger, really keeping that focus as we open the whole side of the body. Breathing deeply. And then we come into side angle, and if you have a block, you're welcome to use your block on the inside or outside of your foot. I like the inside. So either bringing your arm up and just feeling that openness, or you can turn the chest towards the sky and bring that arm diagonally forward. Again, keeping your eyes at a particular spot and keep your eyes, make them breathe. Yeah, let your eyes breathe. Allow them to breathe as much as the rest of the body. And bring your hand down. Slide a foot out. Bring that block over to the other side. Take a moment here, opening the hips a little bit more. Deep in and exhale. Again, stepping back, tucking the back foot under, coming into downward facing dog. Into plank position. And knees, chest, chin. Inhale, small or also a higher cobra as possible. Really lifting the heart, rooting your feet down. And then finding your way back into downward facing dog. So now for warrior 2 on the left side. Place the right foot flat on the ground. Left foot front, both heels in line. And the back toes just turning ever so slightly. Right arm goes back, left arm goes front. And again, keeping our drishti at the middle finger of the front hand, we bring the back arm front. And then we open the entire side as if we're an archer. Breathing deeply. Really feel the connection to the earth. It's also a very, very good way to ground that Mars. Not in that sense of being limited, but really helping that energy also ground and that immune system, that it can be nourished. Bring in the front hand, the inside or outside of the leg for Parshvakonasana, the right angle. And again, opening the hips, breathing into them. Turning your heart towards the sky if you have enough range in your shoulders. Otherwise, just keep that arm up and look to the side and breathe deeply. Steady breath, steady drishti. And practicing in nature, if you're a very fiery type like myself, is an excellent way to balance that Mars energy. Bring the top arm down and move the front foot out. And again, take another moment just to open the hips, breathing into the hips. Bring that front foot back. Keep your seat in line with your knees. And the knees are about hip width distance, maybe wider. Bring your arms front width of the mat. And place your forehead on the ground. Again, resting that Aries head that is often so fiery. Really cooling that energy, allowing your heart to melt. If you can place your chest bone onto the ground, that's also great. Allowing your exhale to lengthen. And then slowly coming up, sitting back. And we come to our last posture in the sequence, Akana Dhanurasana. So straighten the left leg and bring the right leg in and grab the big toe with the middle and index finger and the thumb from the other side, and you can really open the hips. Just for a moment, opening the hips. And now you can also see if you can grab your front big toe. If you cannot do that, you can just sit upright, breathing into the hips, enjoying this archer pose, breathing deeply. Wonderful. One more deep in an exhale. And then bring that foot on the ground, and we do it on the other side, opening the hips in both directions. Pulling that leg back, and then again, see if you can grab your front big toe. And keep breathing, keeping your eyes again at a steady, focused drishti, and allowing your eyes to breathe. This is also something, if you find yourself stopped or shocked, an important thing to remember, allowing your eyes to breathe. Then place that leg on the ground, deep inhale and exhale, and we just give our head a moment to rest here and stay here for a couple of breaths. Coming up, and a good way to finish this practice would be with the mantra Asato Masat Gamaya Tamaso Majutir Gamaya Mrichu Mamritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om, meaning more or less take me from illusion to clarity, take me from darkness to light, and from death to eternity. Bring peace. And there's a beautiful version of this mantra by Illumina, and I put it in the show notes. You can listen to it on Spotify. And my heart goes out to my friends, Anam and Leela of Illumina. And I really hope you've enjoyed this practice. Namaste. please feel free to comment, send me your comments and feedback. I'm very curious to hear from you. Thank you.